Be the hammer, not the nail. One of the things that I love about jujitsu is it is a metaphor for everything in life, essentially. The other day, uh, in context, if you don't train jujitsu, it sounds pretty mean, but it wasn't a big deal. The other day, a guy had his knee across my chest, and he was putting all of his weight into it, and he was the hammer, and I didn't want to be the nail. So I reversed the position, and I got out of there. But that small moment made me think, you know what? I'm going to make a podcast out of this just because, again, jujitsu is life. It's a metaphor. And um, I feel like a lot of times when you're in a hard situation, you have to move. You have to move no matter what you are, if it's emotional or physical in that circumstance, or psychologically or anything like that, to be able to move up in life, because otherwise you're just going to continue to be number two. And nobody that was ever a gold medalist didn't ever lose something. They didn't ever lose and were second place at something, which made them want to be first. Okay. I mean, I'm saying it didn't ever happen with an almost extreme certainty, right? Because generally speaking, when you're learning how to do something and you're working to be better than yourself, I mean, you're always going to be second or less than that, right? But even when it comes to being better than you, even if you're first, how do you improve yourself if you're already the best at something? Ask yourself that question. I think about that all the time because I'm not the best, but I always want to improve my own everything, my own exercises, the amount that I lift, judo, jujitsu, everything. And of course, stand-up comedy, right? I have metrics that I do where I want to have a certain amount of laughs per minute. Okay. And then if possible, if I can get even more than that, that's even better. Right. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that because it was so relevant and so, it really just hit the spot with a lot of things that were going on between, just life itself, your work schedule, your balance schedule, your uh, exercise, if you do that, making time, creating time. Nobody understands how I always tell everybody you need to create time. Well, it doesn't really mean you make it with like a machine. It just means that you cut out waste of your day. And if you've already done that, your next step is to get up earlier. You have to start your day earlier to get what you want, to get what you need into your life. Because your life, it isn't just a matter of going to work and coming home, okay? Your whole life should be like a Rubik's Cube of emotions and goals and objectives. And on one side, the way that your loved ones look at you, okay, is a completely different way than your boss might look at you, than your coworker might look at you, but also that's on the outside looking in. On the inside looking out, you have to have different viewpoints, okay? You got to have your personal ambitions. You got to have your physical health. You got to have your emotional health, your mental health, okay? You got to do all of these things, but you need time to do it, right? So if you cut out waste in your day and you start your morning earlier, you will be creating time. You, as I call it, making time, right? You gotta get these things done. These aren't a maybe. These are the only things that matter the most, right? And whenever you start to get behind in life, maybe it's somebody that's doing it to you in life, or it's something, or it could be a physical weight, or an obstacle, or something like that. You got to stop living is the nail, and you got to become the hammer. Coming around full swing, no pun intended, right? If you're going to be in a bad spot in life, you have the choice to be the one that's getting the pressure received or giving the pressure to be number two or be number one. And in that moment, I said, not today. And I got out and I did a reversal, and then the situation changed. But again, if you wanna learn more about yourself, humble opinion, train jujitsu. If you want to learn more about how to relax under pressure, train jujitsu. If you want to learn how to defend yourself, train jujitsu. If you want to learn how to protect your loved ones, train jiu-jitsu, okay? I know guys that have lost over 100 pounds doing it, and they're essentially killers now, okay? Because they're also doing something that's not just lifting weights above your head, counting to 10. And I'm not putting down, I'm not saying anything bad against exercising, but you're not ever going to walk into a gym and have a piece of equipment attack you. All right? And almost always, you probably don't have to, what's interesting about jiu-jitsu, not going on a sidebar too much, right, is if an object is heavier and it's on you, almost always you don't have to push it off of you. As long as you know how to do certain framing and changing your body and using your hips and stuff, you could usually almost always, I would say, if not always, get out without even using any of your pushing strength, you know? But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. I hope everybody has a beautiful day. Be the hammer, don't be the nail. And as always, if something that I said helps you in a point in your life, that's great. For the very least, and as a bonus, this is always a mental note for me of what I got to do, where I got to go, where I'm coming from, and where I'm trying to get at. This has been Well Done. Check me out. Peace.